What's up, guys? This is EJ Holland with the Wolverine.com, and we're back with another episode of the Michigan Recruiting Report. Today, we're going to be breaking down 5 flip targets to watch. National Signing Day is coming up here shortly, just a couple of months away. So we want to break down 5 key flip targets. Before we do that, I want to remind you guys to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free. And if you want even more Michigan recruiting information, if you missed the Q&A show and want recruiting intel coming out of a big visit weekend, you can become a YouTube member today for just $4.99 a month, and that'll get you the Q&A show. That'll get you the Ballas and Skeen show, and all of this comes ad-free. We're also planning to add some more exclusive content to our Maize and Blue membership here on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't had a chance yet, make sure to sign up for the membership. It's our members only channel. So make sure to do that soon and get everything Michigan recruiting and that Ballas and Skeen show that's invaluable as well. And also, if you're not a subscriber to the Wolverine.com, make sure to do that too. All right, let's break down the 5 flip targets to watch as we head towards National Signing Day. Michigan has a need for a defensive lineman this cycle after losing Nate Marshall to Auburn. Lou Esposito, Michigan's new defensive line coach, has been evaluating several prospects at the position. He recently put an offer on the table for 3-star Syracuse defensive line commit Quante Gillian. Now, as I said, Esposito has been monitoring several late risers at the position, and he's liked what he's seen from Gillian so far. He has an intriguing build at 6'4", 270. He plays out in Rochester, New York, so he hasn't gotten a lot of eyes on him, but he's definitely an athletic player. He doubles as a starter, as a tight end for his high school team, so he goes both ways. He has good length, again, a really good build. He committed to Syracuse in the summer, which is obviously the home state school nearby Rochester. So I think that right now we're still in the early stages with Gillian's, but he has stated that a Michigan visit is very possible. Esposito's from neighboring New Jersey, should be able to connect with Gillian's on a personal level. So he's obviously one to watch along the defensive line. Michigan did have a couple of other defensive linemen on campus committed elsewhere this past weekend, but they haven't gotten offers yet. Gillian's is the guy that Esposito has put an offer on the table. So it looks like right now he's probably at the top of that defensive line board that's still kind of shaping up. All right, let's move on to our next flip target, and that is Oregon pledge Brandon Finney, top 100 corner out of the state of Maryland. So Finney visited Michigan unofficially for the game against Texas a couple of weeks ago. He committed to Oregon in June, and that commitment to the Ducks is still pretty firm. You know, Oregon does a lot when it comes to NIL, and that'll be a big hurdle to overcome. But the fact that he visited Michigan on an unofficial visit speaks volumes about his interest level. Lamar Morgan has been making a full court press in this recruitment. I think Michigan is in a decent spot. I think Michigan and Penn State still have, a legitimate shot to pique his interest even more as we progress through the fall. Now, it's noteworthy that Finney's visit to Michigan a couple of weeks ago was an unofficial visit, because that means he can get back to Michigan for an official visit. I think the Wolverines would love to have him when they host Oregon in early November. All right, so Finney's not the only corner that Michigan is working on. They're also trying to get Donovan Starr on campus, 4-star cornerback commit to Auburn. He is out of Tennessee. And like I said, Donovan Starr is a guy that's been rising up the board. He has a fantastic 100-meter time running in the 10.5s. Michigan wants to add someone with speed to complement Jaden Sanders, so Starr is that guy. He has some ties to Michigan. He goes to Ravenwood, again, in the Nashville area. That school produced current defensive back Miles Pollard, as well as former linebacker Junior Colson. On top of that, he is originally from the Chicago area and grew up a Michigan fan. So that's definitely helping. And Auburn has a crowded secondary class. So he's looking around. He actually made an official visit to Illinois a couple of weeks ago and is in the process of scheduling his OV to Michigan here soon. Let's stick in the secondary. There are a lot of flip targets there. And talk about Alex Graham, a 4-star corner out of Detroit Cass Tech, currently committed to Colorado. So with Alex Graham, he's an interesting kid in the sense that he hasn't played a lot of football recently. Over the last year and a half, he's really battled a lot of injuries. He was at IMG Academy, then transferred back to Cass Tech, but he's been healthy so far this season. He's looked good. Before all the injuries, he was considered, a top 100 level type of guy. Obviously, he's dropped in a lot of the rankings, but Lamar Morgan was out to see him on Friday night before the USC game, and I'm told that Graham had a good performance and impressed him. Graham came in for the game against USC as well. I think that was like his 12th visit to Michigan. He's very familiar with the program. His mother went to Michigan. So I also think his commitment to Colorado is a bit shaky. So if Michigan goes all in for Graham, if they're pleased with what he does as a senior, if he stays healthy, it definitely wouldn't be surprising to see him flip into the class. And lastly, before we get out of here, you can't forget about special teams. Let's talk about Scott Starzyk, kicker committed to Iowa. He was on campus for the game against USC this past weekend. I think Michigan positioned itself really well in the recruitment of Starzyk. Obviously, Iowa kicks a lot, but Michigan has had plenty of success with kickers. Obviously, you have Jake Moody drafted. They've never been afraid to go give scholarships to kickers or specialists in general. Remember, they landed guys like Adam Samaha and Tommy Doman as high school recruits. They recruited him hard, and it's the same with Starzyk. I mean, they are recruiting him hard. He has a full scholarship. Special teams coordinator J.B. Brown is originally from the Houston area. Scott Starzyk's from the Houston area, so they've been able to connect on a personal level. I think that's going to really help the Wolverines moving forward. It wouldn't be surprising to see Michigan flip him from Iowa before the end of this cycle. All right, guys, so those are 5 flip recruits to keep an eye on as we sprint toward signing day. Now is the time to subscribe to the Wolverine.com. Michigan just beat USC. They're turning it up on the recruiting trail before signing day, so subscribe to the Wolverine.com. Also become a YouTube member like we talked about earlier in the show. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free, and there you see the membership offer, just $4.99 a month, and you get exclusive recruiting intel with me, that usual Q&A show, as well as the Ballast and Skeen show, and you get all of this ad-free. So again, appreciate it, guys, and we'll see you all next week.